Good morning, Pop Pops Bees, Funny Bug Bees and Woodworks. This is an awesome addition. You can buy these things online, and they're very expensive. I don't have anybody here videoing, so you're just going to have to work with me, but I think you'll find this informative. So this is our VVAC that we have revisited this year. DW gave me the insight on the battery operated BVAC that Home Depot was selling. I built this last year, the initial, and it worked great, but I had a corded vac on it, and it was a big hassle. So I really didn't get to use the thing a lot because it was a pain in the butt. You had to have your cord and everything else. And I came close to buying one at the state bee meeting we had this year. Very expensive. Worth every penny, don't get me wrong. If you're not really hands-on, and there's a few beekeepers out there that aren't. Everybody that is associated with us, a lot of us are figure it out kind of people. So, this is one of those deals. Watched a lot of videos just like everybody else does on everything else. So, and this was the best that we came up with. So, I've got this is actually, I think, a 6-gallon bucket with a screw-on lid that locks. I figured that was probably a pretty handy thing to use for my capture bucket, just so I didn't have to worry about top coming off. And it's actually easier than those pull-up tops to get those on and off. So this bucket here, I'm gonna come in and try to get that where y'all can see it. You can see I have drilled holes all in the bottom of that bucket. All and about that much to the side. So I've got a little mark here as to how far my other bucket comes down on this, and I'll show you that in a minute. That way, this is where all my air is coming through, and that lets the bees get some air. We put this one here is, I think it's 1.5 inches. I'm pretty positive. 1.5 inches, I believe. I'm trying to see. I'm getting old. On the side of the bucket here. It doesn't say, and I can't remember because I'm old. So this fitting here actually fits our hose. So I've got a conduit nut out of the electrical department screwed on the inside of that. That's how that's fastened to the bucket. This is where our hose connects and where we're pulling the bees into the capture bucket at. Okay, I mounted this about halfway. This is actually sitting like this when we're doing the bee vacuuming. So it's actually sitting upside down just like that. Took another bucket, cut the bottom out of it. It slides over the piece with our holes in it. I mean, it just stays there. Vacuum helps hold everything together. Once you bump that thing down, they're cones, so it holds on real tight. My vac will go up here. On the electric one I cut the ball off the bottom of the vac because it's got that check valve in it. When you throw this thing over your shoulders or it tips over, that ball will go up and you'll lose suction. I've got a cap, PVC cap. I drilled a couple of holes in that. While the vac's still running and when we're done vacuuming, you can take this off, the bees don't come out, and then I screw that right on the threaded male adapter that I've got coming out of the bucket. Okay? So now all the bees are contained in that. Then I break the entire thing down. Okay? Now, something that I did different this year that's helped tremendously is controlling the amount of airflow. Before, I was trying to do that with the suction on the vac up top itself, and it didn't work real well. This is an 1.5" PVC glue-in test plug from Lowe's. I've just got a screw run through it, and it acts as a carburetor. So I can just throttle the amount of, the more this is open, the less vac I've got coming from my hose. The more this is closed, the more suction I've got. So you just adjust that to what you need. Your hose gets stopped up, I can do that real quick and clear the hose and keep right on going. Have not killed any bees with this vac. It's really amazed me. And this here also works as a vent after the bees are in here. So I just drilled a hole, the appropriate hole, saw a hole, so that I could cover that up. And then I epoxied screen number 7. I'm trying to get it where y'all can see it right there. I epoxied screen over the hole on the inside of the bucket with 2-part epoxy. And that way the bees can't get out. And they've got a little screen there. And then I can close it off and throttle the amount of vacuum that I get out of my bucket. Okay. Home Depot now sells the Ryobi 18-volt bucket vac. Wonderful, man. I love this. So you get about 14-minute run time on a 4-hour battery. On the bottom of this tank, this vac here, this is where the check valve went. Was here, and it clips on. It clips in, so you just depress the tabs. Here, there's 3 of them, and then you can take this off. I did that. I was getting ready to cut this joker off like I did the other one, and I saw those tabs and I went, you know, I haven't really modified this thing, so I probably need to just remove that. So if I had any warranty issues, I ordered the 4-hour batteries and the 2-hour batteries. 2-hour batteries don't work real well. They're good for nothing as far as vacuum bees goes, because this thing sucks a lot of power and it drains that battery. Fully charged battery in about 14 minutes is what you got. I went on Amazon and ordered some 2 6-hour batteries and a dual charger for like $100, $120. So that gives me almost 45 minutes. Great big swarms. I sucked a great big swarm off a wall the other night, was done with it in like 5 minutes and had every bee in the bucket. And then the sun was going down, so the stragglers clustered up. I was able to suck all those up too. I literally got every bee in that swarm in that bucket that night. So we were able to remove those for the homeowner, and they didn't have to worry about them anymore. So this goes on the top, your top bucket. Well, okay, it's on there. I just got that bucket just crooked. It didn't look right. So now we've got our vacuum supply up here so that we can suck our bees up. It is loud. The bees don't seem to mind it. I haven't had any issues with those. This is another plug that I rigged up, and I put this in the suction side. So all this is another PVC cap, and this is one of the little drop down hose reducers that they sell at Lowe's. Cap goes right over that, and I stick this in the suction side of the vac. So now I don't have any suction. When I put that in, I get my suction. Don't have any now because I don't have the top on the bucket. I just take this and the hose and put them inside my bucket so I don't lose them. And then I keep the cap for after removal's done, I keep it screwed on here. Just take it, stick it in my pocket. So everything is contained inside the bucket during transport and everything else. Okay? I did not screw that on there right because I was trying to do it later now. So that's screwed on now. Hose goes on. The hose that comes with the kit is angled. Works wonderful too for vacuuming up bees. And it is actually a smooth hose on the inside, or as far as my finger can get in there. So that hooks up here. We've got the top on now. I have dropped my plug or set it down somewhere. What did I do with it? Did I put it in the bucket? Oh, there it is. I got the bucket. I got the vac sitting on it. So this goes in your intake. This now gives me my suction on the hose. You hear the motor change. As we do that, as we operate the carburetor on the side, we can change how much suction we have. Let's see what y'all will be able to see in the video. Okay, if I put this off of the bucket box, so with the carburetor on the side of the bucket, that's wide open. Big difference. I run it about right there. Seems to be enough that I'm not killing bees. I'm not killing bees with it at that suction, and I'm picking them up pretty daggone quick. They're festooning and all tied together. It'll pull them right on in the bucket. The last part of this thing, ordered this off of Amazon. This is a bucket backpack. So I can put this around the bucket vac, throw it right up my shoulder. I actually put it on this side so that I can reach down here if I need to clear the hose and still operate my carburetor. Throw this right over your shoulder, right up a ladder, vacuum off bees on tree limbs that are too big to shake. I know we know the shake method works really good. It's really quick. But I have seen that this doesn't aggravate the bees as bad as shaking them. I can vacuum up in here and get them all off the limb, and like I said, I'm done in 10 minutes, rather than sitting around waiting half the night for everybody to get in the bucket. Works great on the sides of buildings, cars, whatever, anything that's awkward. I prefer to catch them in my swarm traps. Y'all seen my videos on my swarm traps. That's the way to go. I just pick them up, come home, set the box off, set another box on, load it up, go again. Thought that might help answer some questions on the bee vacs. I am really glad that DW told me about this and I revisited this. This right here, adding the carburetor on the side, was really the game changer. It was pretty much impossible to throttle the amount of vacuum you were getting up here. And it just hit me to do that, and that would work great. I could control it. So I hope that helps. Any questions, ask in the comments. Pop Pops Bees, Funny Bug Bees and Woodworks, please like and subscribe. Y'all have a good day.